recording. Hey, yo, that was such a young person answer. Oh, my. I know that you know better, but it's so funny because you sounded like you did not know better than what you just said out your mouth. Yo, what the heck?
I'm
Yeah.
sitting here like, oh, I know we've had some cold wars in the past couple of years, even though no one wants to admit it. Yeah, yeah.
Man, listen.
Oh my gosh. He said stocks. He said stocks. Stocks are finally going back up now that he put a pause on these tariffs. But then him and China are going back and forth. Where I think China has like a 80 semi like percent tariff on us, or maybe I'm lying. Maybe I'm lying. Don't quote me on that. But then he turned around and said, "Oh, bet. So I'm gonna raise it from 105 to 125%." I said, "Brother, you realize we get everything imported. Everything is imported to us because newsflash, do you see any factories? Do you see any
Yeah.
mill? Do you see anything?" I said all we got is buildings on buildings on buildings, desk, because everybody working. Everybody just working on a little laptop, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I said everything's imported. I said not just that, but you gonna sit there and mess with the one place that imports what 90%, that manufactures what 90% of the world. Who we? Who we?
He knows something we don't know.
I'm sorry. He don't know nothing. He don't know nothing. All he doing is trying to get us riled up, geared up, go to war.
My
And I don't know
conspiracy
about
theory
you.
brain says
I got allergies. I can't be drafted.
you did what you did so some of your rich friends can make some political moves and some moves at the stock market because people always panic and sell, which gives
Mm-hmm.
someone else an opportunity to buy more and to capitalize when the market rebounds because it does. Because most people don't understand that the stock market is a long game.
Oh,
We'll be right back. Please hold. We
oh!
back.
I wish there was a video for that. Oh my god.
Of me almost dying.
Well, it was when you grabbed your chest. You coughed like
I
you
knew it was
start
gonna be
coughing
bad.
like those little kids where their tongue curls up.
Here, world, here, where did it do? Here, world.
I'll be down. I'll be down.
Start coughing like you were seven.
I'll be down.
Yo, you've a dark sense of humor. You worse than me.
You
You
coughed
crying?
like yeah,
Hey,
because
yo.
I'll be down.
the way that last cough where you had me grab your chest.
Listen, there's severities to choking. So
Oh,
number one, your attitude is gonna change as soon as I say this. I'm eating Skittles. So
oh, there it
yeah.
is.
So Skittles makes your mouth extra juicy. I don't know what chemicals they put on it. So that was the Skittle juice. It went.
Skittle juice and spit.
I'll be
It
down.
is Kool-Aid flavored spit after you eat the. Anyway, it had hit the trachea, right?
Mm.
Most of it went where it was supposed to go, but it hit the trachea. So I hit the first cough, and then that second one, I was like, "Uh oh, did more get down there than I thought?" I didn't know if I was about to have like a coughing spell, but it was only like the little two or three. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. But Skittles, in the words of Jamie Foxx, so Skittles make you juicy mouthed, yo. I knew it was gonna be bad. Oh,
I've
there's the
had the
rest of
same
it.
thing. I've had the same thing happen to me with some boba. Oh my gosh.
You choked on one of the little boba tapioca
Oh,
things?
absolutely. It was my first time ever having boba. It was at my old job, and we walked down into the tunnels, and we were like, "Oh yeah," and I said, "Yeah, let me get that lemon tea with the boba up in it." We walking. I kid you not. Okay, one. it's already bad enough. I drink my drinks way too fast. I know that. Sue me. I'm a beverage person through and through. I like to have 4 different types of beverages at my desk. It keeps me happy. Um, so I went, I said, and yeah, it was like 20 of them. And I was like, and popping and locking it in the tunnels because I was also walking at the same time and I'm not coordinated.
Wow.
I'll be
So,
damned.
So you almost died drinking boba tea.
in front of coworkers, I said, okay, okay, if it's like me by myself, cool, but in a professional setting,
I'm
I
sorry.
said, there's no way to come back from that one.
I'm so sorry.
Hey,
And boba
we
tea,
live and we
in my
learn.
opinion, it was mine. The one I had one time was disgusting. So
I don't do all that milk and whatnot. I only
that's the one I
do,
had.
I don't, yeah, I don't do that. I gotta do straight lemon green tea, like done. Like, don't put no milk in that.
I don't want no
Don't
boba.
put it. I don't want no milk. I don't want none of that. And the last time I had bubble was a couple weeks ago, like St. Patty's Day. I did it again, and all my friends were ordering like the milk and everything like that, and I was just like, "Where the fruit teas at? I don't want no milk, no dairy up in my tea." Okay, I don't drink it the Queen's way. I don't.
I'll be damned.
You got attitude today.
Somebody cranky.
Some tariffs.
Gotta go to bed. The tariffs
Yeah.
won.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's gonna be crazy. There's a rumor that Apple allegedly flew 4 airplanes full of iPhones or 2 airplanes full of iPhones to beat the tariff tax. Because if you don't know, tariffs the expense gets passed on to us. So
Yeah.
whatever people have to pay to import and export, they're gonna pass those costs along to us. So
It's been really bad seeing people's like online shopping and when they order from someplace like overseas, oh my gosh. That what else was it too? It
that
was something
saddens me
else.
a lot actually.
Yeah.
Because sidebar, when I was teaching, I used to play music for the class, and there's like this one artist on YouTube. I gotta shout them out. But
Mhm.
their series is called Chill Hop Essentials or something like that. Hold on. Ooh, excuse me.
Like a little low, is it lo-fi or lo-fi?
Yes, lo-fi.
I listen to that when I work.
The name of this channel is called Chill Hop Music, and it's like a raccoon, right? So I made like this super duper playlist, and then I noticed they had a shopping page. So I click on their shopping page. So they make collections, like they'll have like summer 2022, and it's like summertime vibes, right?
Mhm.
They have a bunch, but anyway, went to their website. They sell the vinyl version of the
Oh.
instrumentals. So I was like, yes, but they're not in America. I don't know where they are. I have to look again. So that's worrying me.
Is that yeah? And a lot of small businesses are basically saying that they have to shut down because they can't even afford to get the materials that they need in order to produce a product. And I'm just thank you so much because wow, did we forget that we haven't had these big shop facilities and factories since like what, the 50s, the 60s?
And we not going back outside. Excuse me. We're not going back
Yeah,
outside.
exactly.
And like we was talking about that in the barbershop. He was like, "Oh, you want to bring manufacturing back? Where are you gonna bring this manufacturing to? And
Exactly.
do we have the people? Do we have the skill set that we need to be able to carry out the manufacturing? And beyond that, will you be able to afford to pay the people? Because cost of living is real. Like people is not working in your factory
Yeah.
for 10, like not no upper people, not no $10-15 an hour. Like nah, like people got to be making 60 plus, like 50-60 plus.
And you know what I be thinking when stuff like that is coming around, I really think that it's more of getting kids younger and
Mhm.
younger and younger into working. I'm like, we all saw how that panned out though in
Yeah,
history.
yeah,
So
yeah. And this I ain't gonna talk about this generation.
I was,
I'm gonna leave them
I was,
alone.
I'll let them hear it. Y'all can't even tie y'all shoes,
I
okay?
don't want y'all building my stuff. I'm gonna be honest.
And I don't want y'all touching no equipment, no machinery.
Some of y'all,
Mm-mm.
some of y'all, Cause yeah, I mean those be the ones that end up working in places like that, and the ones you probably don't have a very important role and job, but having worked in manufacturing and distribution, let me tell you, if you don't motivate your employees correctly, they don't give a damn how important their job is. They're just gonna be there to get their paycheck, and that passion leaves, and once again the consumers pay for it. But
Yeah.
all right, so we got a couple of topics. Oh Lord, I ain't even play the music.
We just jumped right into it.
I know, right? Yeah, welcome to another episode of From My Experience Podcast. We'll do the whole intro thing after the music plays, but it has been a hell of a week already. My girlfriend was here for a week. She just left.
Ooh.
Yep.
Mm.
We had fun. She didn't come here for me. She had to come here to take care of some other stuff, but you know.
A little stopping.
Yeah. More than a little stopping. All right, we're going to get into a couple things, y'all. Chocolate chip peanut butter banana bread. Ooh.
Ooh. And I already like
You can't have that.
banana bread. Chocolate chip banana bread?
Chocolate chip peanut butter.
Oh, we could do chocolate some butter banana bread. There you go. Mm-hmm. That sounds good.
Yo, you a doofus, yo. I thought it was just me.
I'll be damned.
You a full doof. I love it. Ugh. Welcome to another episode of From My Experience Podcast. I'm your host, Rob. We back with another episode. I am not alone. I have the co-hostess with the mostest, Miss Ericca. What's going on?
Hello. I'm here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nutty Buddy Cakes. Excuse me?
Mm. That just sounds like it's a peanut butter cake. Are they gonna do
It's
like
cake with peanut butter in the middle, and then it's this thing here.
Ew.
Yeah.
Wait, you know they have have you ever tried the little Debbie ice creams that they made?
Can't eat ice cream. Can't do dairy.
Okay, but like a little teaspoon for the one time.
No, I'll throw up.
Really?
Yeah, I'll throw up.
Is that severe?
Yep, it just makes me throw up. Doesn't make me sick. It just makes you throw up. It's never.
Do you do frozen yogurt?
Yes.
Or is that okay? You gotta do them Yassos. I can eat a whole box of them in one sitting. It's not good, but I mean, hey, they're good. And another thing, I absolutely do not like, I'm so sorry to this brand, but Talenti.
How dare you?
I'll be damned. I'll be damned.
How dare you speak their beautiful name to me like
I've
that?
given them shots after shots, chance after chance, and I just can't get down with it.
You're
I
the
just
problem.
can't.
You're the problem.
No, I've tried so many different flavors. I said fruit. Okay, no fruit. Let's do a little cookie batter. Okay, nope, that don't taste good. Okay, let's try this. Let's do a little mint chocolate. Nope. It just isn't giving.
Well, they're one of the few people who makes non-dairy ice cream not taste non-dairy. They also have sorbets, which are delicious.
Yeah.
So for
I like
them,
their
I give 'em high
raspberry
praise.
sorbet.
Here, Will, what did it do? Here, Will. Can't trust you anymore, Erica.
I like my Yasso. I like my Yasso. Yasso. You've seen it before. It's really good. It's really good. Okay, it's really good.
You don't know what I seen?
You've seen a commercial from them. Hold on. Yasso bars. Oh, they're so good.
Oh, the bars.
Yeah.
Bars.
But it's not just bars, okay? It's not just bars that they have. Ooh, hold on. They got a sea salt caramel and
All right, y'all.
strawberries and cream.
As
But they
as you
have a little cookie dough type of
are
thing,
they
like bags
non-dairy?
of them. Yeah, they're non-dairy. They're yogurt, Greek yogurt, not ice cream.
So you don't know they're non-dairy. You see, this
You
is
saw the look
see,
at my face when I said,
I don't know, Greek yogurt. You about to have me in this motherfucker throwing up $20 ice cream bars. I'll be mad as hell at you. You hear me? Man, listen.
they're yogurt bars.
I gotta check with that. But there is non-dairy yogurt. I don't know if I can eat yogurt. I have not tested that. I know it's certain cheeses. Definitely know it's regular milk.
It's certain cheeses.
Yeah, like cheddar cheese, I'm fine. Like, mild sharp cheddar, I'm fine. Colby Jack, I'm fine. I think Munster cheese made me sick, and I bought something
Yeah.
else
It
that
doesn't
made me
taste that
sick.
good.
Well, it's delicious for me, but I think
Pepper jack
the lactose content. Pepper Jack was fine. I like Pepper Jack.
and Gouda,
Can't
mozzarella.
do Gouda anymore. And I used to love the good smoked Gouda. Oh my god.
Oh, I guess because it's like really rich. It is
I
a
don't know. I guess the lactose content is higher in those types of cheeses. Because, I used
yeah.
to work at Walmart in college. So, like, that's when I actually started other cheeses besides yellow cheese. I'm cutting it all the
Hmm.
time. And someone was like, oh, you should sample it. And I started putting other people on. They're like, how'd you find out about this? And I'm like, damn. It just reminds you of just, like, the way you grew up. And just, like, things you're not exposed to. Like,
Hmm.
I would have never asked for a different type of cheese. It's mild cheddar, it's sharp cheddar, Colby Jack. Or pepper jack. That's it. Like I never ventured outside of that growing up until I started working at Walmart, started trying them cheeses. People used to come over and make sandwiches. Dang, this is good. What kind of cheese is that? Like, gotta get them to slice that player. Get them to slice it, dog. Tell them to put on number 2.
We always did white cheeses in my house. We barely the only time we did like cheddar cheese was really if it was like singles and it was like okay like
Yeah.
grilled cheese or whatever. But we always did Swiss, pepper jack, or white American. I was like,
It's crazy. I
hmm.
read this. I didn't do any research, but that brand that goes by singles, I heard it's not real cheese. That's why they said there's nowhere on the packet where you'll see that they're called cheese. The word
This
cheese is
craft
not on the
singles.
packet.
That's evil
I'll be
marketing.
damned. I'll be damned.
And I sat here and didn't say the name. You gonna turn around and say the name. And then when we don't get any sponsorships and we don't get paid ever, this will
You
be
can't
why.
have the cheese.
You gotta learn how to pick up on cues, bro. Good gosh. I literally said I'm not gonna say the name. He go, oh, no more crowd. That's twice tonight, yo. What's up with you? Yo, my God. What the heck?
I'll be damned. I'll be damned.
All right.
This is how you know I'm tired. Like
You know what? I'm gonna keep this short. I'm gonna keep it short because we kind of talked about the other one. How to discover what you want to be or do in life. We kind of talked about that. That's exposure, right? Let's talk about this one. With the rise of the internet and technology going outside is a bit different. So, will outside ever be what it used to be? You think? So, just to lay the groundwork, y'all. Like, just really think about how you grew up. I know most people who listen to this podcast are my age, mid 30s, early 40s. And outside was like it. Like being able to go outside until the street lights came on was it. Like you always wanted to go somewhere. You always wanted to be in a social setting. Like being in a house was almost torture.
yeah.
Especially since, TV was just TV. You had the programs. You had a specific date and time for your shows, and that was it. Once they stopped, they stopped. And that's if you were one of the lucky people to have cable, right? There was no cell phone. There was no YouTube. There was none of this streaming stuff did not exist when I was growing up, y'all. So you had to go outside or you had to sit in the house and watch TV or do homework and read books. Like that was it. Like there were only activities. Fast forward, everything, your cell phone, your tablets, your computers have entertainment all over them. Anything you can think of watching, you can find it. There's streaming services, there's YouTube, there's the internet just in general to look up whatever it is you want to look up. There's shopping. There's so many experiences you can have from the comfort of anywhere in the world if you have a phone or a tablet, and even entertainment wise, right? So it makes you wonder, like, what is the new outside? Is it a chat room now?
Mhm.
Is it Discord? Might be Discord,
Yeah,
which I don't know how to use yet.
Discord and Twitch.
Oh yeah, I'm back on Twitch. Y'all can follow me, Thumb Thrasher Gaming. Follow my Twitch channel. I'll be streaming. I play Battlefield 2042. I play Street Fighter 6. I'm gonna be doing some more though. Like I used to have like a whole thing going with gaming, but I kind of put that down, picked that back up. I should have stuck with it. Would have been way further along. But yeah. So what is so I guess our perspectives are very different. You kind of grew up the way I grew up though, like watching
Yeah.
shows and stuff like that. But how big was like going outside for you, like and playing in the
Oh
neighborhood?
my gosh. Okay, it was a really big deal for me, but also I guess it's more tailored to my experience because I was the only girl in on my street
Mm.
growing up. So all of like the kids, they were all like my brother's age, so they were all like 5 years older than me, and they were all boys. So I would be like, yeah, I could go outside, but it's like, okay, what? It's only so much I can do outside by myself because I can't really play with like other like girls or anything like that. So my version of that was, oh my gosh, my Barbies. Like you, like you would not believe I would be up at like 8 in the morning, all the way until my parents would make me get ready for bed in the room playing with my Barbies all day. And the creativity, oh my, it was so
Mm-hmm.
extensive to the point where I wasn't allowed to get another Barbie unless I got rid of one. And I would cry as I lined them up. And I had to pick out the one that I had to
Put
donate
on
so
the
that
chopping block.
yeah, put on the chocolate. I said, you've been eliminated from the island. Like,
Oh
I
my
was
god.
so devastated because that was my thing. I had like, oh my gosh, I had like maybe 100 of them, and they were all different. And that, yeah, like when I say like
I'll be damned. I'll be damned.
when I say I was going hard, like oh my gosh, like I would get them like it would be to the point where not only would like I get them for like my birthdays, for Christmas or anything like that, but also I would trade. I would trade with people like
I'll
for
be damned.
cheerleading or at school. I said, "Oh, wait a minute. I know you don't have the Princess Barbie. I know you don't got Barbie Princess. Oh yeah, yeah. What was it? It was like Fairytopia or something like that. Oh yeah. I said, yeah. You're gonna have to run that one.
Trading Barbies is crazy work.
Like we would trade Barbies. I would go to like flea markets or like Goodwill, and I would grab like a whole bunch of them all the time. That was like my version of being outside, and I would be just all day. Like you could leave me in my room and I would have them do like I made a Barbie mosh pit, like concerts,
What?
all of that. Oh
I'll
yeah,
be damned.
because I had a rock star Barbie and she had like an electric guitar and everything. And so I took all of my Barbies, and I remember my dad caught me one day and I had a container. My Barbie had a Corvette, remote control. She had a motorcycle. She had a Jeep. She had a Forerunner, and she had three beach houses, and then she had a private jet and an RV.
I'll be damned.
Like
Who,
I had so much.
who was Barbie based on? Was it based on a real person?
I want to say yes. I want to say I can't remember who exactly, but I knew that it was based or just I know that the like dimensions of Barbie, like her name is Barbara. She's supposed to be like what 5'11" and everything like that. But oh, and I had Michelle Obama as a Barbie. I remember when that came out. I remember when they dropped a Michelle Obama in the inauguration outfit, and I had her.
You
Yeah.
had.
Oh, I still do. She's upstairs in the attic at the house. I legit I kept I had Princess Tiana, Rapunzel, like oh my gosh, don't even get me started. I had Gabriella and Troy Bolton from High
I'll
School
be damned.
Musical. Like I had so many. And I still do. And then my brats too. But that was like my version of being outside was that. And it was the fact that I had to force myself to stop playing with them once I was getting to like what the 8th grade. But that was my version of outside. And after that,
I'm sad for you.
yeah, I was like, after that, I didn't really have anything else other than like reading or anything. But yeah, all the kids on my street, like, yeah, I was, and then I always joke with my parents that when I was outside, when it was like, oh yeah, you can go ride your bike. And then my mom was like, to the fire hydrant and back. And you know, the fire hydrant was legit. Like, we lived in a cul-de-sac. So the
Right
fire
there.
hydrant was right across. And I said, okay, so I'm legit just,
Yeah.
while my brother, he gets to go all around the entire neighborhood, everything like that. But my mom, she locked eyes with me and she would just sit there on the porch and watch me go back and forth. I'm like, this ain't no fun. I ain't got nobody to play with, nothing. So I would be in my room with my Barbies all day. But yeah, even my TV shows, I wasn't really a big TV person. Um, if anything, I would watch it just to get ideas for the storylines and plots for my Barbies, and that'd be about it. And I remember I always joke with my parents too about this, where it'd be like those Friday when it's like new episode 8 7 Central da 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 da, and it'd be like 7 o'clock 7:30, and my parents are like, "Come on, y'all, we gotta go get dinner," and I'd be in the back seat of the minivan crying because I'm like, "No, the new episode's about to air."
Let me find out you was a little crybaby, yo.
Oh yeah, I said the way my face would break out. No.
Let me find out you might have been low key annoying. Let me find out.
Oh, go on my mom's Facebook. Do you like? You should go and look at the pictures of my dad trying to teach me how to ride my bike without the training wheels. My face is broke out in tears. He was so mad at me. He said, "Why are you crying?" I said, "Because I can't get it."
Jeez
Yeah.
Louise.
I'll be damned.
Yeah, we so definitely played with action figures growing up. WWF,
Oh my
Ninja
gosh.
Turtles, GI Joe, any type of random action man. Yeah.
Max Steel.
Um yeah, Max Steel. Oh my gosh,
Mm-hmm.
man. And then me and my friend, we both had older brothers, so there's two beds in the room. So we're like using
Oh.
the action figures to like jump off the bed, like this is the rooftop, and you guys are robbing the bank down here, and we're gonna show up and stop
Yeah.
you. And then you got your whole action sequence. Yeah, like I still love action figures to this day. I don't have any now, but there are some I do want to collect. I want to start collecting black ones, like some of the black wrestlers and stuff like that. But I get
Yeah.
tempted, yo. I look at action figures and I'm like, I lied. I do have some Gears of War action figures, but they're collectibles. I'm not gonna open them because I'm not gonna play with them. Anything I buy now, action figure wise, it's got to be dope and unique and something I want to put on display because I'm not gonna. I know I'm not gonna open it and play with it at this point. Um, but yeah, I definitely feel you on that. That was definitely outside. Play dates, man. They didn't call them that back then,
Oh.
but man, like revolving door.
Yeah.
Someone. There was always someone's mom, always like fixing everyone a cool drink, snacks, and we play at their house. And then the
Mm-hmm.
next time we go to somebody else's house, and hell, half the time I don't even know if our parents actually met ever. Like I don't remember my parents meeting all of my friends' houses who I used to go to, like meeting their parents. So yeah, life was just different, man. And just remember, you remember the excitement of stupid stuff like going to the mall.
Oh my God. Oh, I was legit just telling my dad about that, where I said that was
Not
like
stupid,
everything
but
to me.
yeah,
Like as a kid, where every time that it was Saturday, I knew that we were going to the mall, and we were going to the mall just so that our parents could like tire us out by walking us back and forth,
yeah,
back and
it's a
forth,
big
back and
mall.
forth. But
That is a big
yeah,
mall.
it's 3 miles long when you walk it. It's like a mile and a half or something one way, and if you
Hmm.
walk it back or something. But I told my dad, I said I miss that. I miss the whole essence of like getting dressed because I'm like, oh, we going to the mall. We going to the mall. We
Hmm.
not even shopping or nothing. We just walking. Oh my gosh, you just took me back to walking in the mall and getting my pair of Stephen Berries.
I'll be damned. I'll be
Yeah.
damned.
I miss that. I miss like now the
Yeah.
mall is just like so depressing. It
The
really
it's sad.
is.
It
It's sad.
you. It's sad because I'm like you, man. I remember just going to the mall, the fragrances, the the
Mm-hmm.
the cars sitting in the middle of the mall, from companies advertising, literal cars just sitting in the middle of the mall.
Yeah. Oh, I
Um,
miss that so much.
the vendors and the free samples, and then just the variety of stores, man. Like I grew up, um, I got a mall here, but it's a smaller mall. But when I lived in Philly, it was Franklin Mills Mall, and they had over 200 stores. So
Mm-hmm.
going in there, it's like I think there was at least two toy stores and like two video game stores.
I miss toy stores.
Oh my god, man! Like just the sensation, like that's
Yeah.
we will never have that again.
It's it's so sad because I've been feeling that way every time I go into the mall. I'm just like, it's not how it was. Like I used to be so excited. One, two, I always knew it's like as long as I'm like on my best behavior, I could
Mm-hmm.
swindle them into that toy store. I could leave with something. And that or like even just the essence of going to Toys R Us and being like, okay, you could pick out one toy. This is
Yeah,
a warehouse of toys and you want me to just roam around and just find one? Like I miss that essence of it so much and I think I feel it a lot more when I'm walking when my baby cousin comes from overseas cuz she
mm-hmm.
lives in the UK and when I take her to the mall and I'm just like is there anything that you want? Like,
Yeah,
I think about it. I'm like, you don't have the same like upbringing as me because it's like, yeah, you're like a kid, but you don't see like there used to be actual toy stores in the mall,
yeah,
like not just the Lego store. Like there was like Justice. Oh my gosh, Justice was the store I wanted to shop in so bad as a little girl, and I remember my parents telling me that I had to wait until I was a big girl to like shop there. And I was so heartbroken. That was my store, like a store tailored to just like girls, and it's just pink glitter. Like that's it. Like oh my gosh, like I'm Payless. I miss like all of that so much.
yeah.
Uh
And now it's all segmented and fragmented.
oh, and South Pole. Did you ever have
Oh yeah,
I love. Oh my
South
gosh.
Pole,
I
Polo, Bugle
think of
Boy.
Nautica. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
New York and Company.
yeah,
Y'all broke my heart when y'all went out of business. And then I remember when it was South Pole and Echo and then I remember the South Pole in our mall got changed into Against All Odds. And back then Against All Odds was my store. But when they started coming out with that weird little pleather sleeve hoodie
trying
and
to
everything
experiment with some
else.
things.
Yeah, they were, and that was when I went through a strong Aaliyah phase, and I had to let them go because,
Oh,
man, they hurt my heart so bad when I was like, "What is this? Y'all not bringing the energy y'all brought when I was like, what, 7? Come
man, going to the store and having to go through
on."
the racks to find your size and them being out,
Oh my
a
gosh.
whole experience. I still go to the store. I'm shape funny, so I still have to go try on jeans and pants to make sure that they fit. But yeah, it's sad to think about because now when I think of the mall, I think of what's in the food court because I'm looking for like a unique place to
Yeah.
eat or something reliable to eat. But like buying something, and if it ain't like a candle from Bath and Body Works, going to J.C. Penney, get me some nice sweaters, get me some nice jeans that are on sale. But other than that, I'm not there, man. And it just,
Yeah.
it also makes me wonder. I'm gonna ask my friends with families like, what did y'all be doing on the weekends? Like, I know people take their kids out, but it's like
Mhm.
since the
That was
mall,
it.
yeah, like the mall
Yeah.
was like a thing. Now it's like, like we were talking a few episodes ago. I don't even know what there is. Like, there's like fun parks and stuff like that around, and there's a franchise down here called like Monkey Joe's. Bounce houses are popular, but like as far as social spaces,
There's not a lot.
but even
And
now when I think about growing up,
They don't even go to Chuck E. Cheese no more.
Yeah, it was Chuck E. Cheese, but that was usually someone's birthday. The skating
Mm-hmm.
ring, but by the time skating
Oh
rinks,
my
they started
gosh.
fading when I got older, so they weren't really a thing. Which I'm like, why did that even go away? Right? Like
Hey,
that would probably
right.
be dope to revive now.
Like, I think about that all the time because when I was a teenager, I think it was around like my like junior year of high school. I told my mom, I said how I wish I always hear from other people how there were teen clubs
Mm-hmm.
and stuff's tailored like for kids. And my mom, she was like, "Yeah, I used to go to one with my cousins." Da da da. I said, "Yeah." I said, "There's none of that here." And I think it was around the same time that Potomac Mills did the one thing where they're like, um if you're a certain age, like you can't be in the mall without
Mm-hmm.
like a parental guardian. And I remember getting stopped by like mall security, and I'm like, brother, I work here. So one that but I remember telling my mom, I said, I just feel like there's a lack of being able to socialize with other people. And also, you don't find like other people that go to different high schools if there's not a set place where
Yeah.
anyone can hang out. I said the mall was that place, the movie theater, but even the movie theater started kicking kids out by a certain point where they're like, no, like your movie was there, you're done,
Yeah.
bye. And I'm like, teen clubs would have been great. And I said, and for skating rink, the closest skating rink is in Stafford. And I don't know, it's like it's in Stafford and no one really knows about it because also no one has a car. Like no one has their license.
Yeah. Yeah. That's saddening to think about. Um, wow. Because when I was a teenager in Philly, we would go to the mall, we run,
Mm-hmm.
and we would play basketball, or we'd just go hang out at somebody's house that weren't.
Yeah.
Yeah, or hang out on the block is really all you could really do. And that's just it also shows why or is a part of the problem we have with kids just not being able to deal with emotions and stuff like that. It's just they don't have a place. Like how we
Yeah.
grew up, there were so many spaces just for us. Now it's kind of like you go from kid to semi-adult. Like those teenage years, like they need to get some of that stuff out.
Preteen.
Yeah, there's just nothing, there's no buffer anymore, man. Even with
No.
TV shows and stuff like that, like people are just straight up going after the kids now. They pause, hold on,
I'll be damned.
but that's who they marketing to. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think outside. And then now outside is Twitter,
Yeah.
Instagram,
TikTok.
TikTok, some Facebook stuff, and it's like people ain't really even living. It's like a part of life is
No.
just missing.
Scrolling.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like I'm going to definitely do is like my social life when I move is going to pick up big time. Like yo, like all right, who's bowling league we joining? Like
Yeah.
what we doing to where we're gathering and we're getting up on a regular basis, bro? Because we put our heads down for so long as adults just to work and figure out all the shit we didn't know and burn money and go broke and make it back and then learn how to balance it all. Now it's like, okay, now that there's some balance before we're fucking 58, let's
Yeah.
develop some type of routine or lifestyle where we get up and we do something, as adults, like let's do this cuz there's a lot of spaces and a lot of things for adults to do outside.
Mm-hmm.
But you turn on the news and it looks a little crazy. You're like, I don't never want to go out there. Too many people.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'm glad that we're talking about this because the past like 2, 3 weekends in a row, Pentagon City Mall has had to shut down because of teenagers and fights and brawls breaking out.
Mm.
And a majority of these teenagers, and it's all teenagers basically, at Pentagon City Mall because like and people are in the comments like, oh my gosh, why are they, and I'm like, newsflash, they don't have any place to go, they don't have any place to hang out. So of course they're going to be in the food court at a well-known mall that everyone can go to, that's accessible by metro because no one has a license, no one has a car, but everyone has metro cars to get right over there to Pentagon City, to get to Tyson's Corner, to get, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, that's all that they have. And if you have kids that just don't get along with other kids, and also you got instigators in that mix, and it's just so many, like so much of them, and they're all just in the food court. It's gonna happen, unfortunately, but it shows that it's like there's no place for the kids to go because National Harbor, they, I think it was like what, for the past like 2 3 years they've had a curfew where they don't allow like kids there by like I want to say 7 p.m. I want to say
Mm-hmm.
they've been doing it for the past 3 years because it was such an influx of teenagers going to National Harbor, and they're like, no, they're rowdy, no, no, they're causing trouble, and it only takes like maybe a few like ones to like really like just mess it up for everybody,
Yeah.
but it's like there's no place for them to go, and then summer's approaching, there's no place for them to go. There's like none. So it's like where are we gonna, I'm curious on that, like where are we going to start seeing teenagers if malls are already dying out because everyone can just online shop. Two, no one can afford to pay for the space or like the building space in these
Yeah.
malls or on these storefronts. So they're closing down. And then three, also no one's working in these stores because they've downsized all of their staff
Mm-hmm.
to fulfill online orders. And then that's, it's like there's nothing. It's like I'm actually gonna be so devastated when malls close down like for good because I'm like that was a big part of my childhood,
Yeah.
and I'll never forget the day after Christmas going to the mall and you're just wearing everything. You still got the
Mm-hmm.
tags on it, everything like that, but you just wanted to show up in the mall with all the brand new stuff that you got, and you don't even get that essence anymore.
It's it's wild. Um, I think if you strategically place them all, it could work. But I mean, a lot of them are so old. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? A lot of them are
Yeah.
probably way bigger than they need to be
Yeah.
to adapt with the times. And if that was me, if I own like a mall and I realize, okay, my mall could work in this area because of the population, but because of the way the world is too big, like I would think of something creative to do with the other half of the mall. Like, what
Yeah.
could you do with it? Like, what could you do with that, all of that land and all that area? Like, what type of flexibility? Maybe the mall only needs to be half the size, and the other half, maybe you can make some type of, I don't know, staycation resort type of deal. Like, there's so many things you can do. Um, but yeah, you're right. There's a lot of things that have already faded from my life that just makes it weird. Like payphones.
Hmm. Um,
You
I'm
remember payphones?
yeah, well, yeah, I remember wanting to use one so bad just because seeing it on TV, they disappear. I remember, I swear this happened, this had to be a few years ago, where they just started like disappearing. No one said anything. Phone books, I used to love when the phone book would be delivered on our porch and I would grab it and I would just flip through it and try to find like our numbers and everything
Yep,
like that.
yep.
Oh my gosh. You know what else I miss? I thought about this the other day. Those advertisements that you would get, the commercials would be so different too, and I miss that so much. Is the commercials and the advertising, like the George Foreman grill. Rest in peace, man. Rest in peace, George
Rest in
Foreman.
peace to George Foreman. Dang, we ain't even say nothing
But
about that.
but I just like between that, those bump it hair clips and everything to give
Oh
you a
my
little
god.
volume. And there was
A
one in particular.
little.
Oh yeah, it gave you that Jersey volume that you wanted. There's one called Skin ID, and I'll never forget it because this one got me in trouble. It was legit just phone cases, but they were like almost like stickers, and I'll never forget it because I was in the basement and I would just sit there and they were like, just text 6480 and say this today. And I remember sitting there and doing it, and this is back on my little flip phone, and I
Mm-hmm.
would sit there and do it as the commercial was still going because it says, if you do it now in the next 30 seconds, you'll get
Tricking the
this.
kids.
And I would hit send and then I would hit cancel as it was sending. And it would be like a game I would play to myself. And I remember the one time I moved too slow and it says sit. And then I got a text back saying, thanks, you signed up for Skin ID. And I remember my heart dropping because I thought that somehow And now I'm looking at it. I'm like, girl, they wouldn't have even known. But like, I thought they were gonna charge my mom's credit card. I thought they
Mm-hmm.
had all my information, everything, and I just remember freaking out in a panic, telling my mom, I said, I signed up for something, and then they texted me, and she said, I'm a skin ID your butt.
I'll be damned. I'll be damned.
Like I miss like the stupid like commercials that you would see and like all of that stuff. Oh my gosh.
Man, our parents, they had a good now parents are worried about their kids using their credit card for their games because all this stuff is linked to
Yeah.
email address, and them charges
And
ain't
Apple
cheap.
Pay.
And Apple Pay, yeah, yeah, that's it also makes me wonder, what are people doing? Like, I'm a gamer, right? So
Mm-hmm.
this the way the world has shifted to online gaming and accessibility suits me very well. But I think about the people who, you know, the book nerd is fine, they're reading, but like the athletes, like a
Yeah.
lot of them go to indoor gyms because they want to, because apparently outdoor basketball is not good for your knees. I just think about the variety of people we went to school with and like what they were into, and it's like, I wonder what they're doing. I wonder what those kids really do now. Like, and a lot of my kids, sadly, I mean, they were learning, but a lot of my kids, like, they said they were spent most of their time on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, a friend would come over, they'll do YouTube, or even like when I had play days in the classroom, everyone's on their phone, sitting. You're
Mm-hmm.
sitting right next to your friend in real life that you might not necessarily live near because y'all are in school, right? But y'all are going to spend, instead of spending the next hour and some change talking to each other or blah blah blah, y'all playing a game that y'all can play together anytime y'all want, pretty much.
Yeah. It's it's scary because it's like I think about like it's such a stark contrast from like me in my upbringing and my childhood, and I'm just like maybe like the 2000s like legit the babies born in 2000 Y2K only probably were like the last generation to have like the full childhood experience, because anything after
Yeah.
2000, that's when you start seeing the shift and it's like it's not there. And I think of like classroom. Oh my gosh, a teacher said we got indoor recess or we got playtime. I am with my friends. I'm with them because back then
Mm-hmm.
also we would doodle, and we had it stuck in our heads that we were a girl group. Mind you, no one could
I'll be
sing.
damned.
Okay, maybe they could sing and I just couldn't, but mind you, like you know what I mean. So it's like
Even stuff like
YouTube
that.
YouTube wasn't, yeah, like the creativity on everything like that, like YouTube wasn't a part of anything for me. Or like if I was on the computer at any point, I was on girlsgogames.com, coolmathgames.com,
Yep.
Pop Tropica,
Yep.
Disney Channel, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, because I miss that too. Adobe Flash was a big part of my childhood.
Yes. Gone.
Those video games, yeah, gone. I remember I went to do something like this was like maybe 2 years ago. I was like, let me just see if I could just play a little game. Gone. They don't exist. They just don't exist anymore. And I'm like, that's what I miss. And then I was talking to my dad on Monday actually, and I was saying how like I'm a very like I don't mind being inside. I don't mind like not interacting with people, things like that. But it comes to a point where it's like you want to socialize with people, or
Mm-hmm.
you also just get tired of like reading, or you don't want to watch TV, you don't want to watch movies or anything like that. And I told him, I said, I still have my Game Boy and I still have some Game Boy games. I said, if anything, I probably will go back to my Game Boy because I don't want to feel as if my only other option for entertainment is
Mm-hmm.
scrolling on my phone. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
like I truly want a break from my phone, but TV isn't interesting to me. Reading, I don't want to read. I want just like something mindless without worrying about like the stressors of the real world.
Yep.
And so we were talking about that because he has his PSP, and he was saying that he is charging it. He plays that. I'm like, yeah, I would probably try to find my DS on Marketplace or something, or get like the little Switch or whatever I said. Or I might just actually just get a game console, like get something, because it's like I need something mindless. I was like, I love Sims. Sims kind of took up what playing my Barbies was like for me. So Sims is like the adult version of that
Yeah,
for me
yeah,
now.
it is. Sims
Like,
some real stuff.
yeah, so I was like, okay, Sims is like the adult version. So it's like I'm just looking for all the adult versions of things that I enjoyed so much as a kid. And it's like, oh my gosh, like this, like, and then I think about social interaction. Oh my gosh, those are so difficult.
Yeah.
And maybe also I think it's difficult for me because there's also age limits on certain things now. So, because I told my dad I was really upset because they were doing something in DC. It was like a social event clubs basically, and it's like a whole bunch of them, and they do stuff in DC and everything like that. I'm like, oh my god, yeah, great, cool. They had one where it was a throwback 2000s R&B, like, and it's supposed to be like lounge, just chill,
Hmm.
kickback vibes, everything. 27 and up. I'm
I'll be
sorry.
damned.
I'm sorry, but if you could,
27 and up.
I'm sitting here like, now if you say 2000s throwback R&B, why would you not include the actual babies that were born in 2000? I said, riddle me that. I said, because we grew up listening to it. I said, I grew up listening to that. Yeah, you know, because then I got real annoyed because I said,
Ew! Why you send me
I'm
this picture of you on this bike?
told you my face is broke out into tears. You see how frustrated I was. I said, why am I not getting this?
Yo, riding a bike is crazy.
He took the training wheels off and he was still holding me. And I was like, no. I said, I'm not getting this. And when I look back at it, I look like such a child. Like I look like such a little baby. But I
You
swear, I think I was
were.
like, I swear I was like 9 years old. I said, dang, was I that?
You
I was
still was
like,
a baby.
yeah, but oh my gosh, it was the most stressful Saturday of my life.
Oh my god.
But I think of I was like, it made me so mad when it's like, okay, you guys, it's like, I don't want to blend in with like the 21-year-olds or the college kids. Like, I want to be a socialized. If I'm going to be socialized, I want to socialize with people in my age group or older because we have similarities.
Yeah.
I don't have similarities with these kids. They just decided that they turned 21. But it aggravated me so bad because even then, I feel like there's still such a struggle, just a little bit, with socializing.
Yeah.
um, so
Yeah.
that's the only
Yeah,
downside.
you just hit the nail on the head. What it's really about now, which is interesting, this is why a lot of organizations and clubs have lasted for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Because now, as an adult, you know, there's not always a commercially available way for you to indulge in what you indulge. So you got your
Mm-hmm.
car clubs, movie
Book
clubs, book
club.
clubs, golf clubs. For
Running clubs have become a really big thing
really
in the
big thing.
past 2 years.
Yeah, like there's a lot of these things that I'm gonna actually join up on.
Hiking.
And the cool, that'd be a great idea for teenagers, right? Like y'all have your things, but you would need some supervision because somebody
Yeah.
always gonna try something. But that just seems to be like the new thing. And as I've gotten older, I've realized like that's what it is now. It's festivals,
Mm-hmm.
jamborees, carnivals, and these clubs. And thank God for Facebook. Facebook makes it
Truly.
easy for you to get into some stuff, especially when you're older. But yeah, all that stuff is on there now, and I guess that's the new outside. The new outside is, find a group of people that you wouldn't mind sharing, this type of experience with, and go have at it. Yeah, it's just weird. It's just weird knowing that. Maybe that's why I feel the way I feel sometimes. Like some weekends, like I just want to go, but it's just like,
Yeah.
where are you? Where are you going?
Where you going? Yeah.
Why?
I feel like that a lot. And I also wonder if I tend to gravitate towards my parents a lot for that because I'm like, no, like you guys used to always know what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
You like, and also it's like if my friends are tied up and everything, I'm like, no, like we can do something. We need to get out the house. We need to go. We need to do because that was a thing growing up for me is my parents always made sure we were always doing something, always.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, how am I? There's nothing to do. Like, where am I supposed to go? But also, one of my friends, he did a volleyball. He signed up for like adult volleyball just randomly out the blue.
Can't do it. You can do it. Can't do it. I'm at the age now. Shit be breaking and tearing up.
Well, I'm like, they be falling when they go to hit the ball.
Y'all see y'all still got them young bones. Like y'all do. I'm telling you. I'm
Mm-mm.
telling you. I got you by almost 20 years. Trust me. Enjoy your athleticism and ability to move freely throughout the country while you can. Because there's some stuff I wouldn't even attempt. Like bowling is the most athletic thing
Oh,
I'm going to do. Like
are you doing a bowling league?
I am. I plan on doing one when I move. I'm actually was gonna hit my boy up who lives in another city because he's in one, and I'd be seeing him bowl. I suck though,
And
so
they travel.
yeah, they
Yeah.
travel. He's been in. I
Mm-hmm.
seen him in Georgia and stuff like that too. And that's the other thing. It's like, all right, that's a cool thing. Be part of a league,
Yeah.
travel. There's some other things I wanna do as well. But um, in closing, for me, one of the important things we talk about outside, y'all, and whether or not it's the same. One of the beautiful things that we do have, even though this, we've been through all these shifts with technology and social spaces aren't the same. We now have more connectivity than ever, and we
Mm.
have more creativity to do things. So now, I mean, I've even thought about like getting some of my friends and just having like a big old Zoom call once or twice a month,
Yeah.
just to say hey and see what's up. And then building that community once you move, actually making friends and saying, hey, let's have a movie night. Everybody bring, snacks and stuff, and like we'll sit around and watch a movie, or we'll watch a series or something like that, or game nights, like the stuff like we used to see back in the '90s,
Mm-hmm. I
like
miss
that
that.
family oriented stuff. Yeah, I want to start doing that. I mean, it's a necessity, and that's what you do to kind of fill the time. But I also realize that's a big part of work life balance.
Mm-hmm.
I still haven't been taking take care of myself physically. I'm gonna hit the gym tomorrow, but um, even with my peace and as much as I love video games and TV, I need the social interactions recharge you in a different way. Especially after a long day at work. So, in closing for me, and then I'll pass it to Erica. Y'all, outside ain't what it used to be. You got your festivals, you got your clubs, run club, exercise club, baking club, all these clubs you can get up in. But I would encourage everyone to create your own experience. Like hit your friends up and like, yo, what is something we can do and make it ours? Or hey, let's join this club together. Let's run together. Let's walk together. Let's bike together. Yeah, that's that's what I think outside is now. Is these organized events.
Clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with you. Outside is not what I was promised when I was gonna be when I was younger. Um, I was promised everything that basically everyone else experienced, but I don't mind the clubs. I think that is probably one of the positives about it is that there is an accessibility. So I know like back then it probably would have been a lot difficult to find out about these types of things, but you use the technology at your advantage where you can look it up and see so many different things tailored
Mm-hmm.
to your likes, your wants, where it's like, okay. And then also, you can already see people in the comments who also are looking for the same things as you. It's like, okay, so that also, I guess, makes that community forming a little bit better. Um, I agree. I think clubs are probably just gonna be the new outside for a long time. I think that the shutdown and the pandemic also played a really big part in that, and
Oh
also
yeah.
just the disappearance of third spaces, where you don't have like that neighborhood restaurant, like mom and pop
Mm-hmm.
restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
lounge, and it's just the disappearance of all these different third spaces where it's like all you have is like what, like Starbucks. You have the library, but the library is closed by like noon on a Saturday, closed all day Sunday. Like you don't have certain things that you were accustomed to growing up or seeing on TV back in the day in the 90s or anything. And I also feel that a lot of people now only have that type of bond or even relationship if they already have roommates. And a lot of people now, they don't want to have roommates, or we're getting older to the point where it's like, no, like I kind of just want to have my own space. I don't want to be sharing it constantly with some other people, things
Yep.
like that. So I feel like that also plays a really big part in that as well. And also people just being separated from like city living to suburban living, things like that. But I definitely think clubs have been the way to go. And festivals. I do go to a lot of music festivals, even though I do not enjoy my time there that much. Just because it's always like it always makes you feel like you in like the Odyssey, like you on this crazy adventure just trying to get there. And once you get there, you spend all of like what 30 minutes and then you gotta go home. Oh my
30
god.
minutes. Man, listen. If
But
that'd be
yeah.
the last festival I go to if it only lasts 30 minutes.
I I told you about my Philly experience.
We're not gonna go there.
Yeah.
Not gonna talk about my city like that. But
Listen,
you got anything else about the difference between the old outside and new outside and where it's headed?
y'all traumatized me. But what I will say, what I will say is it does suck just a little bit. Like I do understand like grieving of what things used to be. Absolutely, because it's hard for things to come back after they fizzled out. And as you can see, like with this day and age, because I guess like society just moves on so fast and
Oh
is
yeah.
just never looks back. So unfortunately, I think that things that fizzle out, they're just gonna continue to fizzle out completely. So we just pivot and we maneuver and we work around. But yeah, this is our new outside. That sounds so depressing. I'm so sorry, y'all. But yeah,
Yeah, well, the good news is though,
there's stuff out there.
yeah, you really this is a time where knowing yourself as a person is very helpful.
Mhm.
Like I'm going to take some firearm courses. I want to definitely find some type of hiking club cuz I like being outside. I like
Oh yeah.
camping. So like all the things you probably wanted to do even as a kid that you want to do as an adult, start doing them. Find you a club. You know, even better if you got like a personal friend that you know, so you can at least take someone with you. I'm always big on safety, even though we got all these
Mhm.
things that we can use, air tags, your cell phone. And that's another thing too, y'all. When it comes to these social interactions and things you want to do, please let someone know.
Oh yeah. Don't go
Like,
AWOL.
yeah, don't just go to these things. Like let like mom, dad, cousin, best friend. Hey, there's a club thing I'm doing here. I'm supposed to be here this time. This time, yo, hit me up, check on me, just make sure I'm good. Something
Yeah,
like that. But
because it's a big group of people that you don't know. Yes, you can mingle, but let's not trust every stranger.
exactly. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we out of here, man. Didn't keep y'all long. I lied. It's an hour. But
Ah,
it
it could have been worse.
could have been worse. We had
We
two
could have just
topics.
been reminiscing about our childhood for like the past hour.
We low key did. But you know what, y'all?
They enjoyed
is
it.
what it is. We come from a different time. The funny thing is, ooh, excuse me. Excuse me. The funny thing is, despite our age gap, we have very similar experiences and thoughts when it comes to things. Yeah, you got me just thinking about the smell of popcorn in the mall.
Oh my gosh. I was reminiscing with my dad about when he took me to go see Hunger Games on his day off. And I remember because he worked like one of those types of hours where he worked 10 hours for like 4 days
Swing
and had
shift.
every other, yeah, he had like every other Friday off. And I remember Hunger Games and it came out and I was like, oh I said, I know this is your off Friday and it comes out this Friday. Can we go? And he said, we'll see. My face broke out. I said, what do you mean? We'll see. We'll see. And I remember I was in the 6th grade when it came out. And I'll never forget, the bus dropped me off at the top of the street. And I came walking down. And he had all the cars out that he was washing. I said, we ain't never gonna see it. I boo-hoo cried so bad. And I went upstairs to my room, took out my dolls. I said, now I'm gonna make a plot line about a dad who hurts his daughter's feelings and everything like that. And he came upstairs, he was like, come on and put your shoes on. We're gonna go see the Hunger Games. And he took me to go see it.
You had your little funky attitude for
Yo,
no reason.
I sure did.
And he got you a Happy Meal afterwards.
No, he took me to dinner. He took me to dinner after.
Aww.
Because we used to do daddy-daughter dates. And then he got mad at me because we went to Buffalo Wild Wings and we ordered appetizer and I had my braces tight and he said, why aren't you eating the chicken wings? He said, I ordered them chicken wings, you gotta eat the chicken wings. He was so mad at me, but yeah. I was just reminiscing with him about that. I said, see, I miss when you had your little swing schedule. I said, we don't have that no more.
So you can use his time? You know
yeah.
what?
I would have his days mapped out. I said, oh, he's off this Friday of this week? Oh, yeah. I said, oh, yeah.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, take care of yourselves physically, mentally, and financially. We'll catch y'all next time. Peace.
Bye-bye.